What if the power to truly transform a struggling school wasn't locked away in some distant government office, but was actually right there, in the hands of the local community? Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking the Master Blueprint for Empowering School Management Committees, or SMCs, and crafting a seriously robust school development plan. If you're curious about how education is being radically transformed from the ground up, well, you're in exactly the right place. Before we lay the foundation today, please note that this is a knowledge-sharing session prepared by K.A. Kamar, founder and lead consultant of S9 Consulting, Truth and Service. All of their contact details, from phone numbers to websites and YouTube links, are right here on the screen for you. So if you're inspired to connect and drive further impact in your own community, definitely reach out. All right, here's our master plan for today. We'll be covering 1. Shifting the governance paradigm. 2. Structuring the school committee. 3. Formulating the development plan. 4. The 3 pillars of operation. And finally, 5. Whole-of-government convergence. Let's get right into it. Shifting the governance paradigm. Let's take a look at how we're fundamentally changing the way we view school administration. For a really long time, schools were viewed through what we call a legacy lens. They were seen as purely a government responsibility, heavily bogged down by top-down bureaucratic compliance, and honestly, functioning as totally isolated institutions. But we're in the middle of a massive paradigm shift. The transformational view recognizes education as our shared mission as a society. We're moving toward community ownership, strategic decentralization, and a bottoms-up approach that literally turns the school into a fully integrated community asset. It's a game changer. But of course, every strong building needs a solid legal foundation, right? Here we see the 3 massive statutory pillars holding up this decentralized model. First is the Right to Education, or RTE Act of 2019. Specifically Section 21, which legally mandates the core functions of SMCs to guarantee free and compulsory education. Then we have the National Education Policy, NEP 2020. This elevates the SMC's role to focus on holistic learning, making schools vibrant community centers. And finally, Samagra Shiksha 2.0, which provides the actual operational framework, the funding, and the mobilization strategies to make this happen on the ground. Section 2, Structuring the School Committee. Now that the foundation is poured, let's meet the master builders themselves.
So who actually holds the tools and makes the decisions here? These committees operate on a 2-year tenure, and their size scales directly with student enrollment. For example, if a school has up to 100 students, the SMC is a tight 12 to 15 member crew. Between 100 and 500 students, you get 15 to 20 members. And for those large schools with over 500 students, you're looking at a robust 20 to 25 member committee.
But the really crucial point is the breakdown of who's actually in those seats. Check this out. A whopping 75% must be parents and guardians of the enrolled children. Why? Because they're the ones with the highest personal stake in the school's success. The remaining 25% is split evenly into thirds. That's elected local authority members, teachers from the school, and local educationists or experts, which can even include alumni or vital frontline health workers like ASHA and Anganwadi workers. And it's not just about hitting a headcount. It's about making sure every single voice in the community is heard. Half of the entire committee strength absolutely must be female representatives to ensure gender equity. There also has to be proportionate representation for marginalized groups, often called SEGs, for real social equity. And, this is fantastic, there is an explicit mandate to include parents of children with special needs. Inclusion is literally hardwired into the structure. So how does this committee actually get things done? Think of it like a vehicle with dual engines of execution. The SMC operates through 2 primary subcommittees. First up is the School Building Committee, which focuses purely on the physical space, planning civil works, ensuring barrier-free access, keeping things safe. The second is the Academic Committee. They are laser-focused on learning outcomes, tracking student attendance, monitoring achievement, and knocking down socioeconomic barriers to learning. And overseeing these dual engines is the architect, the principal or headmaster, acting as the member secretary. Their role is absolutely pivotal. They have to put the committee together within 1 month of the academic year starting. They enforce a strict 50% minimum attendance quorum for any valid decision-making, and they convene meetings at least once a month. Plus, they champion data transparency by publicly displaying member details and presenting the UDIC Plus School Report Card, which is our National Unified Database for Education Metrics, at the very first meeting. No secrets, just clear data. Moving right along to Section 3, Formulating the Development Plan. The crew is assembled, so let's draft the master document. The School Development Plan, or SDP, is the beating heart of the SMC's work.
Listen, this is not just some static checklist you file away in a cabinet. It's a dynamic master planning document for the school's educational vision and infrastructure. It operates on a broad 3-year strategic horizon, but it's smartly broken down into 3 actionable annual subplans. And to keep everything perfectly on track, these subplans have to be rigorously reviewed every single year by the end of March.
To keep this massive planning process moving briskly, the guidelines lay out a super clear 5-step journey. Step 1, baseline assessment. Where's the school right now? Step 2, gap identification. What do we need to fix or improve? Step 3, action planning. How are we going to achieve this and exactly who is responsible? Step 4 is scheduling the timeline. And Step 5 is outcomes. What will success actually look like? It's a brilliant logical flow that turns a grand vision into ground-level reality.
Section 4, 3 pillars of operation. Let's look at the day-to-day focus of the SMC. Executing the master plan relies on 3 operational pillars, and Pillar 1 is all about academics, specifically Foundational Literacy and Numeracy, or FLN. Aligning directly with the National Nippon Bar admission, the goal is universal grade-appropriate competencies. The SMC makes this happen by championing mother tongue instruction in early grades so kids actually comprehend what they're learning. They set up vibrant, local language reading corners and parent-led reading clubs. And they even sit down with Anganwadi workers to plan out joyful, play-based early transitions for the youngest kids.
Pillar 2, that's about fortifying school safety, both physical and emotional. The SMC has to ensure strict alignment with Ministry of Education and National Disaster Management Authority frameworks. One of the best actionables here is the mandatory quarterly safety walk, where the committee physically inspects the premises, the sanitation, the electrical setups. But beyond physical safety, they act as a zero-tolerance shield for child well-being, enforcing PASO compliance, anti-bullying policies, and safe grievance mechanisms.
Pillar 3 guarantees community trust through financial integrity and transparency. Rule 1, every single rupee is managed via a separate joint bank account held by the SMC chairperson and the member secretary. Rule 2, meticulous record keeping. We're talking a dedicated cash book, bank passbook, and fixed asset register. And Rule 3, the big one, the SMC must conduct an annual social audit. This is a totally transparent review of all school spending presented publicly in Gram Sabha meetings. The community sees exactly where the money went.
And finally, Section 5, Whole of Government Convergence. Let's look beyond the school walls. Here's the thing. The SMC doesn't work in a vacuum. To truly transform a school, they have to actively integrate with other ministries and local bodies. This whole-of-government approach pulls resources together for nutrition, for health, and for skill initiatives. By coordinating with departments outside of just education, they ensure maximum impact for the kids, while making absolutely sure they aren't duplicating efforts or wasting funds.
Because of this convergence, the SMC is empowered with some really significant oversight. They're not just offering advice, they're actively monitoring massive procurement and infrastructure upgrades. They oversee student uniforms, civil works, and hostel buildings. They make sure high-quality teaching and learning materials and textbooks actually make it into the classrooms. And they monitor exactly how school grants are used for equipment, maintenance, and repairs. They are the eyes and ears on the ground.
So the architecture is sound, the legal tools are ready, and the operational guidelines are crystal clear. We've just seen exactly how a decentralized, community-owned model can entirely change the trajectory of an institution.
Once again, all the contact information for this knowledge-sharing session prepared by K.A. Kumar, founder and lead consultant of S9 Consulting, Truth and Service, is right here on your screen. Please use those links and numbers to reach out. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now it's over to you. With this master blueprint in your hands, how will you step up to build a stronger, more inclusive future for your local school?